guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to discuss social media and how it impacts our lives and how to know whether something's impacting you negatively or if it's actually adding value to your life. I also wanted to discuss my personal story with social media. So back in 2017, I decided to delete Facebook. I deleted it for a variety of different reasons. Number one being that it felt like I was extremely addicted to the app. I couldn't stop scrolling for the life of me. I just spent all my time scrolling on this app. I think to me it was equivalent to being at a slot machine, just constantly waiting for something new to arrive, some new stimulus. It was horrendously addictive. There was a whole lot of reasons why I chose to delete it. Not only was I hopelessly addicted, but I also felt like I had to compare my life to my peers, people I had known from the past, people I maybe was just acquaintances with, but I was so absorbed in what everyone else was doing in their lives that I spent so much time trying to keep up to people and to see where other people were at, and of course to post things to try to show that my life was also progressing in the way that it should be. I was so worried about how I put myself out online that I wasn't really focusing on being in the present moment and really asking myself the questions of what do I want to do with my time? Where do I want to be? Or even just feeling the enjoyment of being right here, right now. I was so worried about other people and am I where I'm supposed to be? I was so caught up in the anxiety of keeping up. This of course started to cascade into my life in many other different ways. I started thinking about what kind of pictures I would post in the perfect angles and how could I put myself out into the world to be everything I wanted to be. Not only that, but I was so worried about what other people were thinking of what I was posting out online that I would kind of put myself in a box and I would keep myself in that box based off what I would think other people's perceptions of me would be. I felt very trapped and very limited for that reason, and I felt like I lacked a lot of creativity and a lot of expressing myself and putting myself out there and trying to do new things. So I didn't have a great time in high school. I would not attend my high school reunion, but being on Facebook, I felt like I was constantly attending a high school reunion. I was constantly keeping up to date with people and seeing their information on my feed and constantly scrolling through it, but obsessively. And for me, it was not good for my mental health. And I felt like I needed to break away from that, break away from those past relationships and maybe try something new. Not only that, but I needed to focus on my own life and be present in my own life and feel enjoyment in the here and now without worrying about what other people were thinking about me and about what would be a nice picture to post on my Facebook feed. An Instagram feed, because shortly after I deleted Facebook, and probably not even a year later, I ended up deleting Instagram as well. For the same reasons. It was essentially the same thing, and I was dealing with the same issues there. There are so many things that we can be missing in the here and now. So many things that are happening right in front of our faces that we can become so desensitized to because we're so worried about capturing the next picture or posting the next post. That's not to say that I don't have any social media. Of course, social media can be used as a very powerful tool and you can use it to your advantage. And if it's not impacting you in a negative way, then there's not a problem. It's just for me, it was incredibly addictive and I felt very trapped in it. I don't like feeling limited or put in a box, and whether I felt that way because of other people's perceptions of me, or maybe I placed myself in that box myself, it doesn't really matter if it's all leading to the exact same conclusion. And I had to cut it out. That's not to say that social media is out for me. I do, of course, have Snapchat and I have TikTok and I have YouTube, obviously. But I chose these specific social media apps as a expression for myself, and they're something that really works with my life and it doesn't work against me negatively. The apps that I have chosen to spend my time on do not impact me in the negative ways that I've explained. So all the negative kind of stacked on top of anything positive that I was getting out of my whole social media experience when it came to Facebook and Instagram. It went completely against any benefits of staying connected, so I chose to delete them. And I haven't looked back since, and I still feel like that was the best choice for me. If any one of your social media platforms are leading you to comparison or leading you to feeling inadequate or just impacting you negatively in any way, shape, or form, it's worth looking into and seeing why that may be, and if there's another way for you to stay connected, or perhaps even delete the app. It's like anything in your life. Of course, we require balance for everything. Social media is no different. For me, I could not achieve that balance while also maintaining Facebook and Instagram, but I could achieve my balance with other apps. So I think for me it was a lot of picking and choosing which ones impacted me negatively in which ways, and whether I could work with it or if it's something I had to cut out entirely. So we are all bound to change and evolve in our lives, and I guess the reason why I felt like I was trapped by other people's perceptions is because I was too scared to make a change because I was worried about what other people may think of me if I do make that change. I was always so concerned about putting my voice out there, about trying new things, and I think that it was better for me to stay more anonymous. It was kind of equivalent to me moving to an entirely different city and starting over. I just like that anonymousness of being in a big city, and I didn't feel like I had that when I was participating in the social media race. I didn't want to feel trapped in my past. So the social media apps that I have chosen to continue forward with in my life are for a specific reason. It's because I don't feel like I'm on a wheel and I'm not chasing the next thing and I'm not worried about comparison. The social media apps that I have chosen are not something that I feel is a second job. I know that when I was on social media, with Facebook and Instagram, it did feel like it was a job. I had to post something kind of new and updated and something to express what I wanted to put out into the world, and that was just not worth it for me. The one thing I would recommend is that you examine how you're feeling after you have been on these apps. Do you feel depleted? Do you feel out of energy? Do you feel negative? Do you feel like you're comparing yourself? Does it just make you feel awful, or do you feel empowered, or do you feel satisfied? Is it adding to your life, or is it taking from your life? For me, a lot of the social media platforms that I've mentioned were taking a lot from my life. Is your social media behavior absorbing you into an entirely different universe, and are you able to enjoy your life in the here and now? These are important questions, and we do need to ask ourselves these to evaluate if something is still working for us, or if maybe we have changed and maybe we haven't addressed whether something is a good fit for our lives.